1 in 4 Americans in the United States report having had back pain lasting 1 day or longer. So if you're experiencing low back pain, but not numbness, and you don't have a bulging or herniated disc, this class is going to be so helpful for you to prevent back pain. Later, I'll do a series on how to recover from a herniated disc, but for now, let's do what we can to prevent the future pain. Come into a comfortable seat. You can place your hands on your lap, and I'll invite you to close your eyes if that feels good for you. If not, you can rest your gaze maybe 1 or 2 feet in front of you. Just come into your own body, coming into our practice together and also in our own bodies. We're all showing up with something a little different. Just notice what you're feeling. It could be sensations in your body or noticing your breath. Or perhaps you have an experience lingering with you. It's a little sticky and hard to set aside. And we'll just notice that too. We'll begin with our first pranayama. You can open your eyes. We call this Steetali Pranayama, or we like to call it taco breathing. If you can roll your tongue like a taco, that's how you'll breathe in. So you'll roll your tongue and then slowly breathe in the air. And what you might notice there is the air is nice and cool on the inhale. You can go ahead and exhale through your nose or through your mouth, just nice and smooth. If you can't roll your tongue, if you are one of the less percentage, I think there's like 30% of us who can't roll our tongue, you can place the tip of your tongue just behind your teeth, and that should bring cool air into your system. We'll do this 4 or 5 times depending on your breath cycle. So whenever you're ready, take an inhale and just exhale it all out so we can begin together. When you're ready, purse your lips. If you can roll your tongue, and begin to inhale. Exhale when you're ready. Then begin again. You might notice as you breathe in through pursed lips that your in-breath takes quite a bit longer than if you were just to inhale through your nose. This is also supportive to your diaphragm and all your tissues and organs. So keep going. Try not to overbreathe. That means is try not to make this a vigorous process. Just make it nice and smooth, like you're tending to your garden or you're tending to a child. Let's do one more, and then we'll sit in some quietude for just a few moments to notice any subtle changes in how we feel. As you sit in the silence, notice any echoes of your breathing practice. If your eyes are closed, you can slowly blink them open. And we'll come into constructive rest. Constructive rest is laying on your back with knees bent. With your feet about hip distance apart, we'll begin with some gentle movement. So press down into your left foot and your left big toe and slowly lift your right foot up and set it back down. Inhale, lift the left as you press down into the earth with the right. So we have an exchange. We're pushing down and lifting up as you alternate sides. And imagine that you're going slow enough that if you had like a cup of coffee or something on your hip bones, that you wouldn't knock it over or spill it. As you do this, see about breathing into your lower belly. Or perhaps feel the gentle transition of your hip bones on the ground. Let's do 2 more on each side. Beautiful. Now we'll add the arms. We'll do opposite arm with opposite knee. So as you inhale, lift your left knee and reach your right arm up and over. Exhale to return. Inhale. Exhale. Keep moving through this at your own pace and your own mobility. And let's try not to judge where we're at with our flexibility or our mobility or our strength, but let this be an opportunity to notice. Do 1 more on each side. And rest down. Step your feet as wide as your mat and reach your arms above your head. If you can grab each elbow in one hand, that can be helpful. Or you could just take cactus arms or take your arms out to a T. Your choice today. With your feet as wide as your mat, inhale into your lower belly. Exhale, drop your knees to one side. Look to the opposite. Inhale back to center. And exhale both knees to the opposite side and turn your head, your nose in the opposite direction. Move through this at your own pace. You may linger where it feels good to linger. Try not to rush through, but to take your time. Feeling into any subtle sensations. Noticing how this is a bit of a twist, feeling that in your abdominals. 1 more time to each side. Come back to center. Let's bring our arms back down. Roll to one side. And then press yourself up to a seat, and we're going to come into tabletop or all fours. If you need a blanket under your wrists or your knees, that can be helpful. Spread your fingers wide. Stack your shoulders, elbows, and wrists in one line. And your hips and knees are in one line also. We'll begin with a couple cat-cows. So reach the crown of your head forward and imagine somebody is pulling back on your tailbone. Getting nice and long in your spine. Inhale, arch your lower back and draw your chest forward and up. This is cow. Press the floor away. So you're pressing down into the earth as you arch your spine and tuck your chin for cat. Move through these spinal undulations. See if you can time your movement with your breath. As you inhale, you move through cow. At the top of your inhale is the peak of your pose. And exhale to push down into the earth. And finish your exhale as you reach up into cat. And I said the peak of your pose, not the peak of the pose. The peak of your pose is as far as your spinal mobility will go without pinching or injury. Next time you come through cat, come back to a neutral spine. And you might want to spread your fingers wide, and you could tilt them out towards the outer edge of your mat if you'd like. Draw your right shoulder towards your right hip. So you're going to draw right shoulder and hip together and create a bit of a C curve. Then fishtail it back to the other side, curling left shoulder to left hip. Left hip reaches towards left shoulder. Fish curve back. Let's do that one more time. Right hip and right shoulder. Left shoulder, left hip. Come back to center. Tuck your toes under and press yourself back to down dog. Please keep a generous bend in your knees. I'm not concerned about your heels touching the ground. I'm really not concerned about anything, but definitely don't worry about your heels right now. Keep a bend in your knees and draw your chest down towards the mat to keep a nice flat back. Breathe into your spine. Lower your knees back down. And we're going to come into an extended child's pose. So reach back, yet we're not going to come all the way down. So stay on top of your toes here as you reach your hips towards your heels. Reach through your arms as you press your hands down into the ground. And come up through table and come all the way down onto your belly. Bring your forearms in front of you, possibly just a little wider than your shoulders. Palms face down on the ground. Reach the crown of your head long again, creating space in your neck and your whole spine. Press down into the earth with both your feet and your hands and forearms. Inhale, lift your chest forward and up. This is as far as we're going today. Baby Cobra or Sphinx. Creating a little compression in your lower back. Exhale, come down. If there was one posture you could take away from this practice today, it's Cobra. And doing Cobra every day. Let's come back into it. Inhale, lift your chest forward, then up, chin up. Press down into the earth with your hand and the tops of your feet. We're going to do 3 of these today, and we're holding for 10 to 15 seconds. But you could do this at home. Let's lower all the way down. Take a rest. You could do this at home 2 or 3 times a day and take 3 reps for about 15 to 30 seconds as you're watching TV or just taking a rest from whatever you're doing. Who's taking rest these days from whatever they're doing? Okay, let's press down into the earth. Come up for our last baby Cobra. You might come up a little bit higher if you have a little more flexibility. Keep drawing your chest forward. Even imagine as you press down into the earth that you're pulling your body forward and then up. Send your breath into your lower back and all the way up your spine. Exhale, lower down, and let's make a pillow with your hands. Stack your hands, rest your forehead, then slide one knee up towards the elbow. So for me right now, this is my right knee reaching up towards my right elbow. Breathe here. You can rest your head. Slide your knee back down. And reach your arms down by your side, palms face up. With an inhale, lift your torso. Draw your shoulders down your back. If you'd like, you could interlock your fingers at the small of your back and reach down. Exhale, come all the way down. This time, drive your pelvis down into the earth as you pull your feet together and lift your feet. Breathe here. Exhale, come down. Choose if you'd like to interlock your fingers behind your back. We're going to go for the full expression of Salambhasana. Bring your feet together. And as you inhale, drive your pelvis down into the earth as you lift your legs and your chest. Reach the crown of your head forward. Create space in your neck. Exhale, release down. Make a pillow with your hands, and this time turn your head in the opposite direction and slide that knee up toward your elbow. Let's slide the knee back down. Bend both your knees and see about taking little mini micro windshield wipers. So sway your feet from one side to the other. Please don't go further than your range. If you feel any pain, strain, anything pinching or uncomfortable, let's skip this one. Okay, last time to each side. Come back to neutral. Release your ankles down to the floor. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. On an exhale, you can come onto the top of your toes. On an exhale, push down into the earth and come onto your knees if you need to, into a plank pose. Pull your hands and feet together, step onto your toes, exhale into down dog, bend your knees. Look forward and tippy toe to walk your feet all the way up to your hands. Step your feet a little wider than your hips and place each hand on one elbow. Release your neck. Please bend your knees generously here too. Might like to sway a little side to side. Release your hands and place them on your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Press your hands into your shins as you reach the crown of your head forward and your tailbone back. Use an exhale to forward bend one more time. And press down into the earth with your feet and hinge from your hips to come all the way up. From standing, we'll interlock fingers behind your lower back once more. Keep a bend in your knees. Press down into all four corners of your feet and your big toe mound. Draw your knuckles towards the ground. Lift your chest. Release and shake your arms. Inhale, reach your arms up and grab your right wrist with your left hand. As you inhale, create length And as you exhale, press into the floor with your right foot as you stretch to the left. This bend is really coming all the way down from the ground up through your fingers. So imagine drawing energy up from the ground and all the way up, stretching through the fingertips. Exhale, come back up. Switch the cross of your hands. Press down into the earth with your left foot and exhale to bend to the right. Keep pressing down into your left big toe. Imagine drawing energy up from the earth, all the way up your left side of your body and stretch through your fingers. You could turn your gaze down towards the ground. And inhale, come back up. Release your arms down. Let's take some shoulder shrugs. Reach your shoulders up towards your ears and then draw them down your back. Last standing posture of the day. Step your feet about one leg length or 2.5 to 3 feet apart. Your toes could be tilted slightly inward and press down into your big toe, all 4 corners of your feet. If you'd like, you could interlock your fingers once more behind your back and reach your shoulders down, open your chest. And take an exhale and have your feet like they're going to pull the mat apart in half. So they're rooted firmly into the ground, but they're moving in opposite directions isometrically. From that place, spin your inner thighs back towards the wall behind you and hinge from your hips to forward fold. If you kept the interlock with your fingers, you could release and bring fingertips to a block or the mat. Walk your fingertips over to the right. Continue to press down into both feet like you're going to pull your mat apart. And then walk your fingertips over to the left. Continue pressing down into the earth. Please come back to center. Place your hands on your hips. Bend your knees and press down into the earth to come all the way up. From this position, we'll see if we can come down into Shavasana from this pose, and we'll do this through Malasana. So with your feet where they are, planted into the earth, Malasana is yogi squat. You could bring your hands to heart center if you'd like, and slowly, slowly lower your hips down. See if you can bring your elbows between your knees, lift your chest. A squat is historically known as a resting posture, but if we don't take a squat very often, it may not feel like a resting pose. Let's come onto our butt and kick our legs in front. Lower down into Shavasana, corpse pose. Stretch your legs long. We'll have a few movements before we settle into our resting pose. Pick up your right foot and begin circling your right foot in one direction. Try to keep your pelvis, the back of your hips, neutral, keeping them both on the ground. Go the opposite direction. It's okay if your leg gets a little heavy. We won't be here forever. And then rest your right foot down. And just pause for a moment and notice any difference between your right leg and your left leg now. My right leg feels a little heavier, a little more grounded. Pick up your left leg and begin circling. Keep these circles in such a way that you're not rocking your body. You have a steady foundation. Go the opposite direction. And release your left foot down. Notice any sensations in your legs, your thighs, calves, your feet. Take an inhale, full breath in, and as you exhale, draw your right knee towards your chest and place your hands on your shin or lightly rest them on your knee. You don't need to pull on the knee, but we can add a little weight to our leg to bring our leg a little closer to the torso. Breathe into your lower belly. And close your eyes here if you'd like. We're winding down our practice. Shift your right knee out a bit so it's more in line with your armpit. And continue breathing here. Reach down long with your left leg. Shift your right leg back over your chest. And using your left hand, guide your right knee over to the left for supine twist. Stretch your arms out to a T, your cactus arms, and turn your gaze to the right. Send your breath into your lower back. Inhale, come back to center. One more time, hug your knee towards your chest as you stretch your left leg long. And then release and extend your right leg. Pause here to notice any circulation returning down your leg. Pick up the left knee, guide it towards your chest. Close your eyes. Breathe into your lower belly. Shift your knee just to the left in line with your armpit. Continue with your awareness on your breath at your lower belly. Our lower belly is where our sacral chakra is. You might know the sacral bone, that's the triangle bone at your lower back. Shift your left knee back over your chest. And use your right hand to guide your left knee towards the right. And turn your gaze to the left. Reach your arms out to a T. Svadhisthana is what the sacral chakra is called in Sanskrit. And it means the seat of the self. When you're breathing from your lower belly, you're breathing from your own seat. This is the home of your breath, your prana, your life force. The sacral chakra is the chakra of desire, of our wants and our needs. Inhale, come back to center. Hug your left knee in towards your chest. Then extend your left leg long and notice any circulation returning here. any tingling or warmth. As we arrive into our Shavasana, you may like to grab a blanket to cover with. If you have a sweatshirt, you can slowly move and grab that. We want to be warm and comfortable in our Shavasana. We need not be distracted by being cold in our Shavasana. Take up as much space on your mat or even beyond your mat. Let your ankles splay open. And I'm going to recommend palms face up today, but it is always your choice. You can take palms face down or place them on your body. Whatever is more restful, more nourishing for you, your body, and your mind. You made it to Shavasana. You can release any holding, any control of your breath. Just let it all go. Shavasana is a time of deep rest and integration. It is not our time to evaluate or to judge or even to plan what's next. Though the mind's tendency is to do those things. So if you notice yourself getting swept away, just guide yourself back, perhaps to your breath or the feeling of the weight of your body on the ground, or maybe even just your heels. I often parking lot my mind in my heels. I can sense the ground beneath them. I can sense the weight. Get a little more curious about this. I can sense the texture of my mat. And all while I'm doing this, I'm in my own body and I'm not lost in thought. So see if when your mind wanders, if you can gently guide it back. Let your body get a little heavier. Imagine softening all the muscles of your face. Perhaps the corners of your eyes, the hinge of your jaw. If you notice any guarding or gripping in your body, like in your hips or your pelvis, just say to your body, release. And bring your hips to mind and we say, relax, and see what happens. Let your next organic exhale take you even more deeper into relaxation. Begin to deepen your breath. Slowly wiggle fingers and toes. Blink your eyes open. You can begin to make bigger movements like rolling wrists and ankles. And draw your knees in towards your chest one more time. Place your hands on your knees and rock side to side, micro movement, nice and slow. A massage for your lower back. Then rock all the way over to one side. You could use your bicep as a pillow. You pause here and press yourself up to your seat. And let's sit together for a moment of mindfulness to check in. Close your eyes if you'd like. How is your body feeling? What do you notice about your body right now? Without judgment, just gentle notice. Go a little deeper and check in with your breath. Check in with any sensations or pulsing in your body, your heartbeat, your body temperature. And check in with your mind. How does your mind feel? I hope a little more calm, a little more focused, less tethering from here and there. Please bring your hands to heart center. If this is a gesture that you enjoy, you could press your thumbs into your sternum, lift your heart, and exhale to bow toward your own heart with appreciation for showing up for your practice to take care of your spinal health and your overall wellness. Thank you so much for sharing your time and energy in this practice for low back. I hope it's benefited you, and if it has, please do share it with somebody that you know. 25% of us have low back pain, so somebody you know is suffering right now. If you liked this class, I teach class every Sunday yoga ritual. The theme varies from week to week, but it's always attuning to your nervous system. And pain and emotions, these things live in our nervous system. So the more we can unwind and regulate, the better and more resilient we get to feel. Thank you. I'll see you next time.